bye week this week. Let's go ahead and get started with some questions for Coach Sumlin.
Coach, how have the emergence of B.B. Brown and Jalen Harris kind of changed what you guys are able to do now on that defensive line?
Well, I think it's a combination of things. I think that, you can't ignore that their production has risen along with the movement of PJ to defensive end to the other side, right? So, we are. I think the complete front. It's not just those guys are getting some more chances and some more one-on-ones because of what's going on the defensive front since we made that move for him to defensive end. But certainly they've benefited from it. Probably since protection has changed a little bit to one side than the other, and they've taken advantage of it and been real productive.
With Jalen, how much more do you think he'll fill out? I mean, he's at 230, listed at 230 right now. What will eventually maybe be the ideal weight?
I don't know. I mean, we go through, with our nutritionist and with Coach B, and we'll talk about those things in the off season on what that looks like for him. But certainly you're starting to see a different guy than maybe we saw last spring, just from strength and explosiveness, and that comes with just maturing and getting in the weight room. So we'll see where he is, but he's been productive here, this last part of the season.
Having this opportunity here to pause and kind of reflect on where you are as a program as far as the season's gone, how do you just kind of feel about the state of the team?
I don't know that it's a pause and reflect time. I think for us, it's more of a, hey, look, here's where we are. Let's get healthy. We've had a lot of guys that we've depended on for the last 10 weeks in a row that have played a lot of snaps. You see it right off the head. We handed the ball to him 40 times last Saturday night. So we've got some guys that need some rest right now. We've got some other players who have contributed that need the practice time. So for right now, it's not really a reflective time for us. I think more than anything else, what we talked about yesterday is what this week looks like for practice, what this week looks like for our guys who have played a lot of snaps, and then what practice looks like really for the down the stretch here, and getting some other players ready from a depth standpoint with not having the pressure to play this week but to practice, and then resting some of our other players but keeping them sharp and really trying to develop even some more depth for this, just for the future, but also for the next couple of weeks.
What is the basic practice schedule?
We're practicing today, and we're going to practice Tuesday, and we'll practice Thursday. And that'll give our coaches an opportunity to get out nationally and in the state and see some games, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, to be in schools, and also to see some games live.
Are you allowed to go on the road?
Yes.
Coach? Are you going?
Yes.
I know it was only one play, but how'd you grade Nathan Tilford in that one opportunity that he had?
Yeah, I mean, he's he's a little rusty. We got him in practice. He's one of the guys we're talking about right now. This is going to be a big couple weeks for him. Ideally we don't want to hand it to JJ 40 times. And I think you've heard me say that before. I think we're all better off when we're splitting time, and so for him, this is a great opportunity for him to get back to practice and show what he can do. I think he's got a lot of talent. I think he works hard. I think the thing that you worry about in a game like that was from a protection standpoint because of some of the blitzes and some different looks that they were giving us. So the JJ's very, very good at that. We saw a couple of those blocks, and So this week is going to be for him and for a lot of guys in his where he is, where he's played, but just to develop and create more trust against some of the things that we've seen, because he's got talent, but the consistency for some guys, it's not just him, but for some young guys here, has been different. And a week like this can really help, create some of that trust and that consistency to get them on the field.
For you personally, in terms of running backs and pass pro, how do you rate that? Because I've seen situations where a coach would not put a good running back on the field because he could not protect the quarterback.
Yeah, I think that's pretty common if you're going to throw it, because that's pretty common. And what you see now with these multiple looks and what we call sub packages, when you got all these DBs on the field and sliding from a 4-man front to a 3-down, but the one guy just stands up, and the center's got to go, and the back's got to be a lot like the quarterback, and to be able to sort these things out, listen to the line, know who the line has, know where his protection is, and that changes as the play develops. So that takes some work, and you have to be comfortable with that, not just being a running back, but being able to protect is a big deal.
Do you expect Gary to be back?
We'll see. We'll see about this week. Like I said, Mike, we met, but we haven't really been on the field yet today. So, I know sometimes you think I'm being coy and stuff. I mean, we haven't seen him do anything today or tomorrow, so we've got time. So, probably know a little bit more by the end of the week on him.
How do you keep the players locked in during the bye week and keep them focused on Washington State in 2 weeks?
Well, it's like I said, I think you have there's 2 ways to do it. You've got a chance here for a lot of guys who've played multiple snaps to kind of heal up a little bit and rest. Our practice schedule is keeps guys engaged. And our meeting schedule keeps guys engaged. And so I think it's a blend of, what you do on the bye week, and then what you do when you come back game week. So, this schedule keeps our guys sharp this week, and then gives them some time off. But also, we've got the next week to really hone in on Washington State today. And I think this, just like we've been talking about the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about one opponent every week, and then this week, like a lot of times, this is about us this week, and really working on getting some players some more snaps, and getting some guys who have had a lot of snaps some rest, and then trying to finish out the season strong.
Do you, or what is your message if you have one to the players about staying out of trouble when they have a free weekend?
We talk about it every Saturday night, so it's not, it's not just this week, but obviously there's some more free time this weekend. A lot of these guys will go home. I mean, they haven't been home since with the way the schedule sets up. A lot of the freshmen come in summer in June. There's when you have 1 week and a week before the season started, and really, since August, we've been practicing or playing, and we played 10 straight weeks. So, a lot of guys will get home and see their families.
What are your thoughts on Arizona being in that tie for top of the South?
What's that?
What are your thoughts on Arizona being tied for the top of the South?
It's just we got football to play. So, it's as I said Saturday night, I think the bye comes at a good time for us, just from where we are physically, after 10 straight weeks. So, it didn't look like that at the beginning of the year, but it does now. And just from where we are from a health standpoint, we need it. And, we'll see. We just got to continue to play the way we played the last couple of weeks and see what happens.
Kevin, what did you see when you looked at that last run by JJ?
It was typical JJ. You know, he's got great balance. He's got great talent. But I think what you see is, I guess what you're asking is, he's got great want-to. Right? He made 2 different runs with the hand down to get the first down, and then the breakout run on the sideline and being a smart player and not running out of bounds. And I'm talking about both of those runs. That tells you the experience level that he has. It tells you, you know, the intelligence that he has, but also there were 2 very different types of runs. One was extremely athletic, but also showed a lot of, you know, want to. Knowing where the first down marker was and not going down. And then the second one was, hey, let's keep the clock, knowing that they were out of timeouts and, you know, staying in bounds, the game's over. So he's talented, but he's also a very smart player, you know, and I know Coach McKinney would like to take credit for both of those runs, the hand down and the slide. And we practiced a lot of those, but, you know, he's to really, you know, execute that the way he did says a lot about him.
Actually, I was referring to the last run, which
there were a bunch of them after 40 of them, right?
The one, it was just a very beautifully blocked run.
Right.
A 21-yarder where the guards popped out to the second level. You had Wilma kind of push a guy out, and
right.
then you had I think it was O'Neal with the
yep.
block down. I mean,
with the crack from outside.
Yeah, the excellent blocking on that particular run.
Yeah, it was. We had some good plays like that Saturday night. I think, you know, it's there was, give our offensive staff credit, just about scheme and design, but also, you know, execution is a big deal. And so, you know, particularly coming down the stretch there and being able to run it and run the clock down and execute the way that everybody, the O-line did. I think Khalil, you know, did a nice job carrying out fakes also in the fourth quarter, which, you know, he's been kind of hit and miss at that. But yes, there's a lot going on those last couple 3 plays, but I thought the execution was about as good as it's been all year.
What are your instructions for the offense, particularly the quarterback and running back, in that situation where you're backed up down there at the 1-yard line and you know, don't get out of the...
Yeah, I mean, you've got to, you know, you got to get it out of there. You know, our goal when we're back to everybody wants to go 99 yards, right? But, you know, our goal is really 2 first downs from right there. And then if you can make those 2 first downs, saying that, you know, you're going to get the ball to the 20-something or 25, we can flip the field back and with a good punt. But yeah, we'd like to go 99 yards, but we also, you know, that's just our goal internally, is to make sure that, you know, we don't give them a short field.
Kevin, is defending the deep ball a lost art in college football? It seems like week in and week out, and this is on both sides. We just see cornerbacks that have no idea what the ball is. And I know it's easy for us to say, turn around, but is this a lost art we're seeing in, I guess, the way defensive backs are playing?
I don't know if it's a lost art. I think you're seeing a lot more man-to-man coverage. I think you're seeing guys that, you know, you're seeing different schemes because of having to load the box to stop not just running backs but running quarterbacks now, to have an extra defender on or near the line of scrimmage. Those guys got to come from somewhere. They come from the back end, and you know, you've got a lot of isolation out there, and you know, I think you're just seeing a lot more man-to-man than you've seen in a long time. And with that, you know, the deep balls are, and there's some big dudes out there, receivers, you know what I mean? So the term 50-50 ball has become in vogue, right? So, you know, it's what it is. And, you know, everybody's working on it, everybody's coaching it, but at a certain point, it's one-on-one out there. And you make a play, get him on the ground, knock it down, But I think it's because of what you're seeing with a lot more people at the line of scrimmage and guys singled up on the edges.
Besides the obvious, giving his ankle time to heal, what do you think Khalil got out of sitting out for a week?
I don't know. I think obviously he looks healthier, right? That was the first time we've seen him run like that in a long time. So that has helped him. I don't really know. I think, you always appreciate something that you really like to do and you can't do, and that's been a struggle for him when he's played. I know it had to be a struggle for him to go to Los Angeles and not play, and so I think he's made the most of the last couple weeks with that ankle for a rest for that week, and certainly for him this next couple weeks can't do anything but help him also, and gaining some confidence, being able to have success like he did Saturday night, and then also being able to take off and run, and so this 2 weeks can only help him.
What does it say about Lucas Haversick's mental toughness that he more or less lost the place-kicking job, and then you thrust him into this situation, and he made it two really long?
I think that it's players at different times in their career and maturity level. When you basically get benched, right? Guys can react. There's only one or two ways to go, and some guys understand it and take ownership and continue to work, and then some guys can go the other way. I think, based on what happened with him early in the year, then we had really a comparison during the week and made a change, and instead of pouting or going a different way, he continued to work at it, because you never know when your opportunity is going to come, and obviously he made the most of his opportunity. I think kicking off, which kept him engaged in the whole process and travel. I think that helped him. But as I said before, there's a big difference between the driving range and the golf course. And there's just some guys that he can hit it a long ways. You get in there and there's trees and water and sand and hills. It changes a lot of people's golf game. But I think Saturday night he's continued to work at that, and he was very successful. And it's the old thing. Now, can we be consistent? Can we follow it up? And I like where he is mentally. His attitude's been great during this whole time, and I think those guys work well together.
One more question for Coach.
Your mother's reaction when you told her you wanted to coach college football?
It's about the same it is right now, So I think she said before, I don't understand why you get so mad. You don't know what an 18-year-old is going to do in front of 60,000 people or a couple million on TV. So that's just where she is. But my dad was a coach, and kind of drug her around all over the place too. But became an administrator, and so she's been around athletics all her life as a school teacher, it's not what she wanted me to do, but that's what I do and who I am. So she's learned to live with it.
What did you want to do?
Huh? Anything but be a football coach, right? So, but that's okay.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks.